Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen and I'm going to do a real quick video on how to put braided line onto a baitcaster. Seems kind of simple, doesn't it? But there's a few little tricks, few little problems that you can have if you do it the wrong way. So I'm going to try to show you the right way to do it to prevent those problems. What I have, ooh, I almost dropped it, is a brand new 13 fishing Inception reel. Not quite out on the market yet, comes out in February. And great reel. It's an 8:1 gear ratio reel, and I'm going to be using it for flipping and pitching down in Florida in a few weeks, and punching that the heavy vegetation that's down at Lake Okeechobee. So I'm getting it ready. I've got some brand new Cast King Mega 8 braided line. This is 50-pound braid, and I'm trying it out. I've never tried it before. Looks like some good braid. Feels like good braid. So I'm gonna put it on the reel, take it down, and put it through its paces, and see by the end of it, see whether I like it or not. So the things you got to worry about when putting braided line on a baitcaster is if you don't put a backing on it, something to prevent that braid from spinning on the spool. When you set the hook, I don't care how full you have that braided line, you set the hook, that line's gonna spin on that spool. And so there's a couple of things you can do. You can take electrical tape and put a coating of electrical tape, just one wrap of electrical tape around that spool, and it'll prevent that when and you can put solid braid on your spool, and it'll prevent that. Well, I don't like to do that because I don't like to have all braid on my spool. I feel like I can get more, I can fill 2 or 3 reels with a spool of braid if I put a monofilament backing. So I've got some Masters monofilament, also Cast King, 17-pound monofilament, that I'm going to put a few wraps, a few layers of that monofilament onto the spool, and then I'm going to put the braid on there. So this is how I do it. All right, now the first thing to remember is make sure that you put your line through that little line guide that's on the front of the reel. I forget to do that so much. And then you have to figure out a way to work that line around the spool. And it can be tricky. Okay, so if I can get a hold of it, I cut my fingernails this morning or the other day, so it's kind of hard to grab the line. Okay, and then the first thing you do is you're going to tie what's called an arbor knot. The first step to an arbor knot is to tie a overhand knot in the end of your line. That's basically what I did. I just tied an overhand knot, and then I'm going to bite really, or cut really close to that knot. So that knot is right on the end of the line. If you guys can see that. There you go. All right. Now, here's the hard part. Okay, so I've got the line all the way around the spool, and I'm going to tie basically a double overhand or a slip knot around the line. And what that makes it to where I can do, it makes it that it's a slip knot, and I just pull it all tight. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's better illustrations of this on a website called fishingknots.com, or animatedknots.com is the name of that website. But anyway, so you set up your line and you just start winding it on. I'm not so much worried about line twist with this one as it falls on the floor. Okay, and then because this is kind of a deep spool, which I really like about this reel, I kind of gauge on how much line I want on here. I just want, 4 or 5 layers of line, and I cut that loose. Okay, so there it is. The knot I'm going to use to join my backing with my braided line is basically an improved Albright knot, or an Alberto knot. I have a video that shows you how to shows you this knot and several other ones, and I'll put the link right here next to me. But I just double up my line, give myself plenty of backing, or plenty of slack, and then I'm just going to wrap several times around that doubled line. and then come back and wrap about the same amount of times. One more and it should be done. Stick it back up through the loop. And pull everything tight. This is not the knot that I use for tying a leader to it, because I found a better knot called the FG knot, and I'll put that video right here, the link right here. And but it's a great knot to use for this. Cut my tag line, tag ends. And then I basically just reel it onto the reel until it's full, is how I'm going to do it. And you know, should prevent a whole lot of issues. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this thing, I'm going to take and put a pencil or something through here and get it coming off the top of the spool. So when I'm lining it onto the spool, the lines you can see right here, the line is coming off the top of the spool onto the reel, and I'm going to have my son or somebody else hold it. I've got a line winder outside. I'm just not going to waste my time going out and getting it. But and I'm just going to fill up that spool and it'll be ready to go. And the thing I love about braided line is that it lasts for a long time. And then when you've worn out one end of the braid, you can actually spool it from this reel onto another reel and have it all over again. It's like using brand new line. And so you can make braided line last for a long time. I don't use it on everything, but I use it on my heavy cover stuff. And it works for me. So, well, like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing and show them my videos. Let me help you teach them how to fish. Subscribe to this channel. Check out my other channel, Fluke Master Reviews. Hit the like button if you like this video. More importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day.